What's up, guys? Today we're going to be reacting to Emery and Austin, We Need to Talk. This has been brought to my attention as a pretty important and informative video, and we're just going to kind of walk through it step by step and kind of explain my thoughts on everything. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it.
Okay, we're rolling. So, Emery, Austin, we need to talk. I want this to be a serious video, and I'm just going to share my mind with you guys and everything. So, we'll start off with you, Austin. I've known you for, I don't know, 5 years, maybe more. And I realized throughout those years, I mean this in the most loving way, you're retarded. You're pretty dumb. You're fun to be around.
All right, first off, already fantastic point that Cam just made here. Just absolutely true. I mean, everyone knows it. We love you, Austin, but you are retarded. Just a little bit. And that's okay, you know? Not like that's what makes you who you are. But it's true, you know. And part of life is just accepting stuff like that. So good point already. I'm liking this.
I enjoy you. I love you as a brother, but you don't make good choices, especially financial ones. I mean, you blow all your money as soon as you get it and everything.
Yeah, just to hit on that bad financial decisions, Zach's computer, I mean, he knew he was getting scammed, and he still did it. That's kind of, like, really stupid, but, you know, whatever. Let's continue.
So that brings me to the point of you buying this new 2025 6 Honda Civic. I just want to say, I don't agree with this choice at all. I think it's a really dumb choice because you're making what you said, $34,000 a year, $36,000. The car's $32,000 or $34,000. So you're spending a year's worth of your salary on a car that's value will go from $32,000 straight down to probably what, $20,000 instantly. I don't know if that's the actual one. But you get what I'm saying. You're spending over 90% of your yearly salary on a car. And you got to take into
Yeah, just another point here. He is spending that much money on his car. And the only reason that's like a really not the smartest thing to do is that it's such a depreciating asset. So in this economy, to go out and spend that much money on something when you can buy something that has already depreciated, maybe has a few more miles on it, but it does the same thing. Really, in this economy, what I'd be looking for is reliability. So how well is this car going to hold up? And like how much are you going to have to put into it? And miles per gallon. Because, again, how much you're going to have to put in it, how much fuel you're going to have to put into it. All right, let's keep going.
Understanding that, like, you're not guaranteed the $36,000. I mean, with taxes, and then you're gonna have to buy, I don't know, food, drinks. Your girlfriend's up your butt all the time. You're gonna have to buy her stuff. So realistically, you're probably earning, I don't know, $30,000 a year with all that, maybe less, depending on how you spend your money. You spend your money awful, so it's definitely going to be less. So I don't think it's a good idea of you buying this car. I personally believe you should look into a 2018 to a 2022, because you could buying this car. It is an awful decision. So I just want to speak my mind. I don't really care if I change your mind.
Pretty much all I had to say about the Austin part. Nothing too crazy, but definitely not some great decisions, I think, there. So yeah,
about Austin's thing, that was my first break. It's my second break right now. It is 3:26. So, Emery, we need to talk as well.
We need to talk.
So you're talking about this LS 400. You're talking about getting a new car and everything. I personally believe that is a terrible idea. Not the new car thing. Like, of course, you got to get a new car because the Prius, your dad doesn't want to sell it to you. You got to get a new car, right? So you're thinking about this LS 400. After, like, cool car. I think it's mid. Honestly, like, I don't see anything cool about it.
I agree with Cam here. It doesn't look that phenomenal. It's a Lexus, so everything is going to be more expensive. Like, even just like parts in general are going to be more expensive. And, when you're going with any car, it doesn't matter what, you want to get the good stuff. You don't want to cheap out on a car. Never do that. Always put the good stuff in it. And yeah, I think the only appealing thing that excuse me, Emery had mentioned about this, that like the only thing he liked about it, maybe other than the looks, was the V8. There is no reason for the V8, really. Especially since he's about to get into it, but I saw some with 130,000 miles that were still for $10,000 for like a 97. And just the maintenance, the potential maintenance, I guess. Like, no matter what, you're going to have your oil changes and stuff, which, like I said, with a Lexus, you're probably going to be buying more expensive stuff. It gets 19 miles per gallon. That's just a horrible decision already. Like, I don't care how reliable it is, even if you never have a problem with it. The amount of money you're going to be putting in there. Like, you're going from a Prius, which gets, I'm not sure exactly what, but pretty good mileage, to something that's 19. My brother's 3/4 ton Silverado gets like 15, and that's a truck, a bigger one. So already, just based on that fact, not a great idea. I know in the video or in the group chat, it said something about straight piping it. The funds to do that, which isn't that much, but still doing that. You're definitely no way you're doing it yourself. Sorry, Free Club. So you have to get someone to do it for you or with you, and the potential of messing it up. And on insurance, depending on what you do to the car, and I don't think that falls in this category, but just in general, depending on what you do to a car, it can void your insurance. Like, your insurance won't cover it anymore if it's like heavily modified or if you modify certain things. So yeah, that's just already not a great decision, I think. So we'll get back into
a Lexus. I don't know. I'm an SUV type of person though, or a Civic. Anyways, this is a $10,000 car. Well, the cheapest I seen it was like 6,000, and that had 200-some thousand miles on it. I don't think you want that car. 200,000 miles, nah.
See, mileage really doesn't matter that much as long as the vehicle is taken care of. But the problem with buying used is you don't know really how well that vehicle is taken care of. Like with the people, when the oil says can last up to 15,000 miles, 15,000 miles, it's every 5,000 miles you're supposed to change your oil. That's 3 times the amount, and that's put on the label, so a lot of people will fall for that. That's put on label as triple the amount you should actually run your car. So, not a lot of people are like super knowledgeable on this, so could definitely have some issues there. But like, if this was like a $200,000 car that someone who just like really kept up with it, that would not be a bad deal at all. Because really, as long as it's maintained, it really doesn't matter all that much.
Pilot has 200,000 miles, but this thing actually 150,000, and it's 10,000. We post it. I actually won't. Want to show off your Lexus?
Yeah, getting a car again in this economy just to try and show off for girls, which number one is a horrible decision, and it doesn't have to be girls, but just to show off, like, yeah, you have something nice, isn't a good idea. That's, putting yourself in a bad place financially just so you can look good for other people is probably one of the worst things you can do. Honestly, I think it'd be better to do something like Cam and just kind of be reserved. Like Cam has a pretty good amount of money saved up. I'm not sure exactly how much, but I mean, he's been working that long. He's got to have a decent amount. And he doesn't he doesn't have to show it off. I mean, his Ranger is clapped, as we all know, but it doesn't matter. You know, he knows that, and that's okay. He's not going out trying to buy a V6 Mustang to try and be cool. You know, he's not trying to do that. Not trying to buy a Charger or the Chrysler 300s or whatever. He's not out doing that. He's saving up his money, and that's the smart thing to do.
You're only getting it to show it off. You're only getting it to show it off, and I understand that. I want to get a new. Well, I'm getting a new car, and I don't like the color. Okay, you like the car. You need a. What I'm thinking right now is the Lexus. Lexus is probably going to last you like 4 years max, and then you're going to have.
Yeah, I think kind of what he says here is that you need to think for the future. Definitely think for the future. I mean, is this LS400 something you're really gonna not regret buying just because of the mileage and the potential maintenance, and because Lexus is more like a luxury brand, the price of just everything that you're gonna have? I mean, it's a luxury brand, but the car does not look very luxury itself. So, you know, you gotta really think. I mean, especially when you make big decisions like this. I mean, I even do it with like when I'm spending like over $100. I really think about it. But I mean, when you're spending thousands of dollars, it's completely different. And obviously, you know, Freak Lab situation is different, but I think that's exactly why it's even more critical for Emery to make the right decision here, is because of his situation. You know, obviously, he can't get the Prius, which is unfortunate because that would be really nice for mileage. I think he's already familiar with it. But buying another car, and like Cam, I think, says here, it doesn't have to be like T-Matt's $800 truck that sucks dick. You know, it doesn't have to be that. It can be, you can still buy, I mean, I paid $8,000 for my car, and it gets 33 miles per gallon, and I've really never had issues with it other than basic maintenance. I mean, I knew the tires were getting bald, and one of them blew up on me. I had to do it sooner than I was planning on it. No big deal. And then while I was at it, I just rechanged all my brakes and stuff. Ended up costing me $1,300, but ever since then, which was been coming up on a year now, I've had no issues with it. So buying something on the cheaper end, more for reliability and fuel, would be a much better idea.
To get a new car, or you're going to something's going to happen about it, because you can't find those cars, the car that you want at least, with under 100,000 miles. So just keep the Prius for now. You apply at Menards.
So right here, he's talking about Emery quitting his job. That's not a bad idea. But what I would have done as soon as I got hired at Kroger, especially if I knew I was going to Lima for college, is I would have started applying and applying and applying for jobs. The worst they can say is no. I mean, when I was on my job search before I landed on Walmart, because it was kind of one of my lesser picks, I swear, this is no exaggeration, I probably applied to over 20 places that I was actually like wanted to work and that paid pretty decent money. You know, I think when you're in college, you should try your best to make at least $15 to $16 an hour. I think that would give you plenty of money to do whatever you want and take care of what you need to, as well as save up money when you need to pay for college. So, yeah.
And you go in there for an interview. You don't have to take that job after the interview.
Yeah, definitely take interviews. It might not be exactly what you're looking like. Don't be afraid to say no. You know, like if you see a job and you're just like, I'm not sure if this is built, like this is for me. Depending on the money, of course. If it's really good money, then it doesn't matter. You just gotta suck it up. But you're probably not gonna find anything with really good money while you're in college for part-time.
It's just an option. But apply like to retail, fast food if you really want to. To be paying $600 a month. And honestly, with Kroger right now, anything new. But with you, I feel like you don't want to buy a car that's too expensive because you still have to pay for college. You think you should buy the Lexus at all?
Something kind of unrelated here. I don't know if Cam really touches on it, But I know he talks about like how long it would take for Emery to buy a car while he's working at Kroger, and I worked at Walmart and I was making 14.14, which is pretty close to what you guys make now. Um, just when and I was working 2 jobs. Obviously, one of them was paying a little less than that. I was working 2 jobs. I was working 70 to 80 hours a week, and it took me 4 months to pay off 6 grand. So it's gonna take a lot of dedicated saving. Like, I know Emery's been going to McDonald's. That cannot happen. It doesn't matter if you don't have food at home. You work at Kroger. The best thing you can do is like I have a bag of frozen. It's like breaded chicken. It's not even just like because I know how bad it tastes. The like normal just straight breast, especially like if you don't season it, and even when you season it, it's still not like the greatest ever. But what I would do when I come home from Walmart, I would take those, and this would be at like 11 o'clock at night, and on school nights too. Um, so I would take those, put those in the air fryer, shower. I'd put like 2 pieces in the air fryer. I'd shower, get ready for bed, and then I'd eat them beforehand. That saved me so much money, saved me a lot of time, and it was just the healthier option. So I think that could definitely help with Emery's money saving. But I can understand the appeal. But at the end of the day, you just got to have the discipline to say no. I can't do this right now for my health and for my money. And for me, just thinking about the money aspect alone, I never went and got fast food after work. I always, if I wanted something, I always got it at work. Whether that be like I've seen like meals, I'm like, okay, that would be pretty good to cook, or like maybe if it's later, something quicker. Um, no shame in that, and it's a lot cheaper and gonna be a lot healthier.
I think you should keep the Prius for as long as you can, save up money, and then, I don't know, opportunity comes up, maybe the LS400, maybe you could buy it off.
To be perfectly honest, as long as you're in college, I would not buy anything like that. There's just no point. You're gonna be in debt. You know you are. Why not get a jump head start on that?
3K. That's 7,000 less than as you can. Like I was close to getting another car as soon as you can. Then you know your gas mileage is going to go down. You're going to have, I don't know. You're going to need good mileage, man. That matters. It's just a little light flex and everything.
Right, well, I think that pretty well sums up what Cam had to say here. Overall, definitely some really good points all around. Pretty good constructive criticism. Yeah, I mean, I think this was a great video for them to learn from. And they should really consider what all of this is. Alright, guys.